Chapter 1. A mama toad stands vigilant while scanning the horizon for anything that would threaten the lives of her precious young as they play on the edge of a crimson river. Suddenly, a purple, curly-toed shoe with gold laces comes down hard on the mama toad, turning her into a bloody splotch. "Yuck!" yelps a young, violet-skinned prince. "Tootsie, Papa's gonna be mad at you. Ruin the royal shoes and get a royal bruise," taunts an identical prince. "Carmelo, you'll help me clean them at the river, won't you?" says Tootsie with concern. Fine, but you'll have to catch me first." Carmelo slaps him in the face with his fishing pole and runs away. "Ouch, you dirty pecker. Don't leave me behind." "I'm sorry," yelps Tootsie with tears in his eyes. Tootsie chases after Carmelo as the brothers run through the cotton candy-colored sea of whisker grass that covers the Peppermint Hill and the surrounding Peppermint Kingdom. On top of the hill sits the Peppermint Castle that houses the Peppermint royalty and overlooks the Peppermint City, with its large chemical factories and warehouses filled with sweet things. The two laughing young candy asses will one day rule this kingdom. Right now, that is the farthest thing from their minds. "Carmelo, when I catch you, I will rub this slime on your shoes and your face," taunts Tootsie. "Go ahead. You know Papa wouldn't punish me. Anyhow, he loves me too much." A sugar fly buzzes around Carmelo's head and enters his left ear, causing him to scream and roll down the hill, tripping the other prince. They both cry and whine as a yellow shape appears in the hazy tangerine sky. "Tootsie, what is that floating up there? It seems to be coming our way," wonders Carmelo. He wipes the remaining tears from his eyes, while the other one is too scared to look. "Don't tease me, brother. You know how I hate anything that flies." Carmelo's eyes enlarge as the golden object comes closer into view, and it appears to be a large chair with a man sitting comfortably in it. Could it be Santa? Santa? The two peppermint princes give each other an incredulous stare, while their fleshy gills on each side of their necks undulate and suck in fresh air. They then look back at the craft and watch it float down from the sky at a leisurely pace. "I think I can hear his elves," says Carmelo. A strong gust of wind coming from the south pushes the golden craft towards the river. "Why is it so windy? Oh no, it's going to crash. Let's stop it before it reaches the dreadful sour sea," yells Tootsie. They rush down to the river and pull the golden craft to the shore. It quickly becomes apparent that the large, unconscious man is not Santa. "Where is his big bag of toys?" wonders Carmelo. "It's just a pantless fat guy in a disgusting chair," says Tootsie. "Maybe Santa really is dead. How dare you say such a thing? Maybe he's his son? He looks a lot like him. The little nose, the red cheeks, the jelly belly." Tootsie jabs the fat man's belly, causing it to shake, and the man burps and stirs from his coma. The princes run away scared and hide behind a shrub as he grumbles and smacks his lips. With his eyes still closed, he stumbles out of the puffy chair and falls face first into the goopy purple mud that runs up and down the shore. The princes come from behind the bush and quietly kneel beside the snoring and bubbling head of the beast. "He's suffocating. Let's roll him over. But don't let the mud get on you," says Tootsie. The two roll him over with great struggle, and he lands with a loud splat. The man remains asleep and snoring. "Put a cookie next to his nose. If he really is related to Santa, then this will wake him right up," says Tootsie. His brother pulls out a bright multicolored circle from his lunchbox and lays it on top of his mud-caked hole. With his eyes still closed, his nose sniffs and then his mouth widens to maneuver the cookie into his mouth, where it's devoured swiftly. "Brother, did you see that? Amazing. Do it again," yells Carmelo. Another cookie is placed on his snoring lips and the pattern repeats. "I've never seen anything of the sort," yells Carmelo with a sinister smile. "I've got an idea. Put another cookie on his mouth." Tootsie places another cookie on the man's crumb-speckled mouth as the other Carmelo jumps onto his belly. This produces a giant belch, shooting the cookie into the air and throwing Carmelo into the mud, staining his royal clothes. The man wakes up screaming and jumps into the river. "Ah, it burns," He desperately swims back onto the shore and takes off up the peppermint hill with the princes running after him. "Tootsie, where is he going?" says Carmelo. "Nowhere," replies Tootsie, who can't help but laugh at his soiled outfit. "I feel better about my shoes now." Carmelo shakes his head in disgust, and then they both run after the strange man, who slips halfway up the hill and appears to give up. When they catch up to him, they find his half-naked body shivering in the whisker grass. "Sir, we mean no harm," says Tootsie. "You don't look well? Where are you from?" asks Carmelo as he offers him another cookie, and Gumbo eats it without hesitation. "You are very unusual, but I like you. He eats what we eat. Should we take him into the castle and let Papa see him? At the very least, get him some pants. He's freezing. He's certainly not from here. We can sneak him in through the back way. Papa doesn't like strangers. Plus, he is meeting with his sweeties." The princes both smile and shake hands. "Come on, buddy. On your feet," says Tootsie, who lightly tugs the man's soaked gray boxer briefs. He opens his eyes and looks around, revealing a pair of bright blue eyes. "Where am I?" Carmelo bends down to meet him face to face and smiles widely, revealing his shiny pink cleary teeth. "Well, hello. My name is Carmelo, and this is my brother Tootsie. Welcome to the Peppermint Kingdom. Would you like to spend some time in our castle? Get warm and get clean. More cookies." "He knows that it's called a cookie," yells Tootsie. Carmelo pulls out an orange circle from his lunchbox and presses it up against the man's mouth. It opens and it is quickly eaten. "There is more where that came from, my strange friend," says Carmelo, patting him on the head. Gumbo stares at the fluttering flaps on the sides of Carmelo's neck while he tries to comprehend his new reality. He reaches out to touch them, but Carmelo instantly slaps his hand away. "Nah, Papa doesn't like people touching our gills." Those are gills? Mine get really hot when I get scared," adds Tootsie. "How did you get them? How did you get that?" says Tootsie while poking the man's belly. He laughs and then releases a loud fart, which the princes love, and they all have a moment of wild laughter. The laughter fades and the princes wave for their new friend to follow them up the hill towards the Peppermint Castle. He has no choice but to comply. The castle's large blocks of red and white rise high into the air, meeting what appears to be a massive candy cane pointing northward. Armored guards stand in front of the main entrance that meets the end of a red and white checkered road that leads to the Peppermint City. The princes choose to avoid the guards and follow a set of stairs that leads to the cellar door. They enter and see hundreds of wooden barrels lined up against the walls. I smell ice cream," says the man. "That's right, buddy. Ice cream of all varieties are stored down here. My favorite is all of them," says Carmelo. "The perfect meal to start and end your day," adds Tootsie. They walk through the cellar and up a staircase that leads to a long hallway of red and white doors. The sounds of laughing people are heard. They enter the first door to their right and move into a small room with a tall blue-stained window that casts an ethereal light on its contents. There is a large comfy bed in the far right corner and a closet full of royal garb in the left corner. "This is our favorite room in the castle," says Tootsie. "It's Mama's room. Well, her old room. She now lives in the cellar." Carmelo takes out a burgundy-colored sweatsuit with a pink furry hood. "Try this on, my friend. It's nice and warm." He gives the sweatsuit to him and directs him to the changing wall next to the foot of the bed. After a minute of groaning and anxious shifting, the large man emerges, revealing a skin-tight sweatsuit with his belly nearly bursting through the seams. "Is there anything bigger?" asks Tootsie. There is this," says Carmelo as he pulls out a large flowing red gown. "It's Mother's. Perfect. Try it on." What is your name?" asks Tootsie. The man shrugs, ripping the back of the sweatsuit. "Alrighty then. Hand me your clothes and take this," says Carmelo as the man takes the gown and gives him his sweater and underwear. A bag of candy falls out of the sweater onto the Zinda wood floor. Carmelo picks it up and reads it. "Gumbo's gummies. Looks like some kind of candy. Is your name Gumbo?" I think so." "Sure," says the man, rubbing his forehead. "Well, Gumbo is what we will call you," says Tootsie. "Nice to meet you." Carmelo opens the bag of candy and screams, dropping it on the ground. They are worms. Unthinkable. Not even a bogo would eat a worm. They're not real worms, assures Gumbo. Tootsie bends down and picks up the bag. Let me try one. It's only candy, Carmelo. Tootsie takes a red and green one and confidently pops the whole worm into his mouth. He chomps and swishes the pieces around his mouth, observing the sugar and flavor profile. Very interesting, it has a nice mellow sweetness, along with a strong gummy texture. The flavor is sublime, like a mix between a pockberry and a dwella. Quite enjoyable. Give it a try, Carmelo. Don't eat them all. Papa should try these and have them tested and extracted. I have no desire to eat a worm, gummy or real. Sorry, brother. You know how I feel about worms. Tootsie nods and puts the package of gummy worms into his lunch pail. Gumbo, I hope you don't mind me taking these. See it as an offering to the kingdom. Gumbo shrugs, further ripping the top of the sweatsuit, causing it to expose more of Gumbo's blubbery upper body. Try on that gown. I imagine it will be a better fit for you, Gumbo. Gumbo pulls the dress over his head. The princes are shocked to see it drop just below his knees. Well, that will have to do. Carmelo, grab the largest pair of shoes you can find for him. Where are you from? You are like a little Hemis. Gumbo tries hard to think of an answer as his eyes blink rapidly. He gives up and shrugs. I don't know. Tootsie laughs and pats him on the back. You are in quite the miserable state. They stare at each other for a moment. Then Carmelo brings out a dusty pair of large golden shoes. Look at these. I believe they will fit you. Carmelo bends down and places them on Gumbo's dirt-covered feet. They fit perfectly, and now Gumbo looks like a true member of the peppermint royalty. The princes clap their hands and demand that Gumbo do a walk down the hallway. We must see you in your royal strut, says Carmelo. The princes laugh and push Gumbo into the hallway. Go, Gumbo, go. Let's see how those shoes feel, says Tootsie. Gumbo walks down the hallway of doors as the princes clap and howl with laughter. He doesn't really know what to make of it all. They are strange little violet-skinned humanoids that live in a creepy castle, on top of a hill, near a river that contains a liquid similar to rubbing alcohol. As Gumbo walks further down the hallway, the prince's laughter morphs into an echoey cackle that sends a shiver of fear up his spine. His instinct to flee kicks in and his walk turns into a run. Where is he going? Wonders Carmelo. Nowhere, says Tootsie. Gumbo runs to the end of the hallway and opens the door to his left. He is confronted by a crying woman. Get out of here! Gumbo retreats and shuts the door. His mind races with the sounds of the prince's echoing laughter bouncing around the walls. Gumbo sees another door on his right and opens it. It reveals a stairwell that goes up into the second level of the castle. Gumbo takes off up the stairs. Should we go fetch him? Asks Carmelo. They smile at each other and then run after Gumbo.